Amazing new technique called optogenetics that was developed at Stanford University in Palo Alto in California. Implant a virus into a particular area of the brain.
Implant a virus.
Now that is fucked up. You know why? Let me tell you why. Let me explain why. We just got vaccinated worldwide, right? What makes you think that in that vaccine isn't the thing that is going to control you? Huh? It's going to control you. Why do you think there's so many blue lights all around America? Here in Puerto Rico, too. I live in Puerto Rico. And here in Puerto Rico, there's blue lights everywhere. Luciferian lights everywhere. It's coming. Yes, it's coming. The zombie apocalypse is gonna come. They're gonna create it. I don't know if it's a zombie apocalypse or whatnot. I don't know. But whatever is in us is gonna control us. Well, if you got vaccinated. If you got more than one shot, you're fucked. Well, I think if you got 2 shots, it's okay, maybe. We don't know. But that's why they needed you.
But what else can we learn about the Antakarana? Well, it's a concept in Hindu philosophy referring to the totality of the mind, including the thinking faculty, the sense of I-ness, the discriminating faculty, and the emotions. So in other words, everything that can control your mind. The thinking faculty of the mind is the corpus callosum, which is where our free will resides, which we went over in part 1. Now, Yuval Noah Harari said, free will, that is over. Why? Well, look at the spike protein sitting inside the Antakarana, right inside the mind. The Greek word for forehead, as in the mark in the forehead, is the word metapon, and it actually means behind the forehead, as in the mind. The root word of metapon is meta. Facebook or Meta were one of the biggest mind control mechanisms for this whole Antichrist narrative. Now, there are 4 parts to the Antakarana: the ego, the intellect, the mind, and the memory. The word Antakarana is made up of 2 words: anta, which means inner, and karana, which means instrument or function. The instrument sent out by Operation Warseed was designed to have one function: to get to the inner faculty of the mind, to control the ego, the intellect, the mind, the memory, with their spike protein. To infiltrate the temple of God, and to do it in warp speed time, because the dragon knows that he has but a short time. This global oppression campaign was designed to instill fear into people while trying to silence the rest that could not be manipulated. This is all part of the great merchants of the earth deceiving all nations with their sorcery, which by now we know is the Greek word pharmakia, which is where we get the words pharmaceuticals and pharmacy from. That is what sorcery is. Now look at the logo. Logos can tell us everything we need to know about a company. Do you see the 3 almost hooks coming out of the top right side of the Antakarana? Well, these are the Hebrew letter Vav. All Hebrew letters are assigned a number. Vav is the number 6. There are 3 of them. Vav, 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 666. Below this 666 symbolism, we have the Hebrew letter Yod. Not only do Hebrew words have numbers attached to them, but they have pictures as well. The picture for the letter Yod is a hand. 666, hand. Oh, and should I also point out that the 666 hand is on the right-hand side of the logo? This is the war on the seed. Now, if you take out the 2 P's in warp speed, you get war seed. Now, PP in music stands for pianissimo, which means very quiet, as in silent weapons of war. The dragon went to make war with the remnant of her seed. Most of them didn't even hear it because it was so quiet. It's all right here in one logo. Eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart to understand. The last thing.
Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and fear, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahar, Ka, Kadash. Much love, joy, power, and happiness and love to the Lord's elect and judgment to all those that are the fakes and those that have deceived and lied about one thing upon another. A den of thieves, a tower of lies. But basically going into those intros is heavy. One of them my brother sent to me, and the other one I just came across this morning. And it's just so, man, so powerful and deep. The depths of Satan, and just like that video was talking about, this is a silent war. Warp speed, it goes into war seed, and then double P is like a sound or something. It's like a quiet sound, so it's like, it's really powerful. The will of the Lord is being done. Everyone's being marked for whatever they're going towards. Like, if you're either being marked for exemption from the judgment that's coming, or you already have the mark of the beast, bro. And that's what it happened. That's what's with a lot of people. They already have the mark of the beast. A lot of these prophecies already came to pass, and now we're in the time of the trial of all men, and people bearing what they sowed, reaping what they sowed. Amos 5:13. Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time. See that? It is an evil time. This is an evil time. So if our channels get striked or they get taken down, so what? We go ahead and just make us another one with fewer subscribers. The real know where our backup channels are. They listen closely to the Spirit, just as we listen closely to their lessons and follow where they're headed. But the point of the matter is, man, we're in the time of the end of all things, And the word government means to, mind control. So this government controls the masses of the minds of the people. But our government, like it says in Isaiah 9, the government shall rest upon his shoulders, is Yahweh Shai, you see? Our king isn't Caesar. We don't do things for money, bro. A lot of people just, all they do stuff is for money. The only reason they breathe, the only reason they go places, the only reason they do things or whatever, or say things or even do this, is for money. You see? It's their God, it's their king, it's their friend. That's why they defend it so much, you see? Seek, Amos 5:14, seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so Yahweh the powerful shall be with you, as ye have spoken. See, the Lord's with us. So let's get the word for prudent. The prudent shall keep silent. So better is the Lord is heard more in quiet, in silence, in meditation, So the word prudent is being circumspect, wisely understand, right? We were circumspect, and we wisely understood what was happening, in 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, and now we're here in 23. You see? And what do we have? We're wearing a crown. It weareth a crown. This is our victory, even Yahweh Shai. You see? Wisdom of Solomon 4:2. When it is present, right? It's right here. The bride is here. The bride is being revealed. The elect is being revealed. The sons of power are being manifested. Men take example at it, right? That's what we are. We're examples to the flock. How to conduct yourself in the house of God. What to say no to. What to allow. What to cut off. Knowing what's right from wrong, man. Holy from profane. Good and evil. You see? It is gone, they desire it. It weareth a crown and triumpheth forever, having gone the victory, striving for undefiled rewards. You see? Undefiled rewards. Sirach 40 and verse 4. From him that weareth purple and a crown, and to him that is clothed with a linen phonic, wrath and envy, trouble and unquietness, you see? Fear of death and anger and strife. In the time of rest upon his bed, his night sleepeth, do change his knowledge. A little or nothing is his rest, and afterward he is in his sleep, as in a day of keeping watch, troubled in the vision of his heart, as if he has escaped out of battle. You see, and this is going into people's minds, their dreams or visions that trouble them, right? Because Lord said he's going to pour his spirit upon all flesh. People are dreaming dreams of the last days. Remember Pontius Pilate's wife, she had a dream about Yahushua to not touch him, She was terrified. And we're going to go into Yahushua in that time as well, because it's symbolic of what we're going through now as well, with this wicked government, this wicked kingdom, like the brother did that good lesson the other day. See, this is what this life, this walk is all about. It's all about edifying one another, inspiring one another unto good works, bringing ourselves and each other closer to power, closer to the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's within every one of us. We don't have to be in the same place at the same time at this moment. We're all in our own place at our own times, and we have to fulfill the will of the Lord. You see? It says, when all is safe, he awaketh and marveleth that the fear was nothing. Such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast. And that is sevenfold more upon sinners. You see? Sevenfold more upon sinners. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine and tribulation and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. All things that are of the earth shall turn to the earth again, and that which is of the waters doth return into the sea. All bribery and injustice shall be blotted out, but true dealing shall endure forever. Right? We're truly dealing. The goods of the unjust shall be dried up like a river. And it's heavy. That goes into Revelation. The river Euphrates dried up, so the ways of the kings can be prepared for the third world war, the judgment, right? That's happening. And shall vanish with a noise like a great thunder and rain, right? So they have a saying, it's called the calm before the storm. Just like in the 300, the little boy was like, it's quiet now. You see? It's quiet. See, that's heavy too, because like we was out there, we was doing the work, we did our thing, the Lord was with us, he's still with us. And it's like everyone's quiet now. Ain't no one really have nothing to say, because everything we said happened, man. So everyone's just like, damn, he's right, he was right the whole time. And they're mad at us. They're upset, they're mad upon their idols, you see? So word prudent goes into act wisely, have success to prosper, you see? Have success, prosper, have insight. Give attention to, consider, right? We gave attention to the Lord. You see, so the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time. Let me go right to Yahushua real quick. In Mark 15. Mark 15. Sorry, verse 1. This is Yahushua before Pilate. And straightway in the morning the chief priests held a consultation with the elders and scribes and the whole council, and bound Yahushua and carried him away and delivered him to Pilate. Now, real quick, see how they bound Yahushua? They bounded the word. Just like Superman, when he was putting those handcuffs, he just broke them and he walked over. That's Yahushua. That's symbolic of Yahushua and the elect. Like, nothing can hold us. Not even death can hold us, man. So when we're breaking every chain, right? Especially in our mind, because now it's all in the mind now. Those chains that our people were in slavery with, that's not the case anymore. It's now the chains in our people's spirit, their mind. That's what we're breaking. That's why it says in Isaiah, I preach the gospel to loosen those that are bound. You know what I'm saying? So when you go to the word of God, right? The word of the Lord was made flesh, right? And we are now his flesh of his flesh. We are his what's the word? We mirror him on this earth. Okay? Put it that way. 2 Timothy 2:7 says, consider what I say, and the Lord give thee understanding in all things. You see? Remember that Yahushua of the seed of David. You see? So remember how that lady in the intro was like, oh, warp speed? It's war seed. The seed against the war seed. They're against the seed of the woman, Yahushua, of Israel. You are your father are. Our forefathers, the covenants, the promises, the oaths. This is what's happening. Was raised from the dead according to my gospel. Right, I'm gonna say two things right now. The devil is saying he's not gonna come to you and say, oh, I'm Satan, I'm the devil, and here's the mark of the beast, take it. He's not gonna come to you like that. He's gonna come to you like, oh, this is gonna help you. You'll be able to work again. It's gonna get better. That's how he came, and he did. How Yahushua is coming now, it's like a thief in the night when you don't expect it. but he's coming. You see? It says, wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds. See, even unto bonds. But the word of power is not bound. You see that? So this word, right, it's breaking every chain. When you go to, what was the prophet Micah? The people, the land, wasn't able to hold all his words. Because his words was with power. It was really potent and heavy. I think it's in Micah, if I'm not mistaken. They were not able. It's one of my favorite scriptures too. And that's the same thing with this land, this cursed land. It can't bear their cross. They can't bear these words. They can't stand it. They can't take it. They can't eat the flesh of his flesh and drink his blood. Yeah, let me get it right here. All right, this is Amos 7 and 10. It says, then Amaziah the priest of Bethel sent Jeroboam king of Israel, saying, Amos hath conspired against thee in the midst of the house of Israel. The land is not able to bear all his words. When you bear something, you hold something, you handle it, right? You carry the weight of it. This is where this whole concept of heavy comes from. This is why everyone's saying heavy now. You see, because it's can you hold it? Can you handle it? Right? The word of power, how it's supposed to be handled. It's a weapon. It's supposed to keep the darkness and demons and wicked people away from you, cut them up, get them offended, get them out of there, and it's supposed to defend and preserve the real close to you. It says, carry the weight of support, endure an ordeal of difficulty, right? And whoever doesn't bear their cross daily is not worthy of Yahushua. Now let's go back to Mark 15, verse 2. It says, and Pilate asked him, art thou the king of the Jews? And he answering said unto him, thou sayest. And the chief priests accused him of many things, but he answered, here's the point, but he answered nothing. He didn't say nothing. He gave him silent treatment, man. Sometimes silence is the answer. Don't say anything. You see? Let's keep going. And Pilate asked him again, saying, answerest thou me nothing? Answerest thou nothing? Behold, how many things they witness against you. How many things they're saying. There's someone saying so much stuff about you, talking so much shit about you, Yahushai. But Yahushai yet answered nothing. So that Pilate marveled. You see, because normally when people are in a pickle, when they're in a tough situation, they're just running their mouth. Oh, it wasn't me. Oh, and blaming other people and just talking. Just like a lot of you guys. All you guys do is just talk. But you don't, when it comes to walking, you're not walking. Whew, Lord Father. So, this is Isaiah 29 and 14. Therefore, behold, Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people. Right? There's a marvelous work in our eyes, what the Lord has done and what he's continuing doing. For his time to work, oh Lord, the Lord's working right now. Through his voice, through his word, through these prophecies, through these things manifesting in the physical realm, through the media, you know. Says, even a marvelous work and a wonder, for the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. So even guys that were at some certain point esteemed as wise became fools. You see? Because one thing about the word of the Lord is it's always evolving. It's always elevating to higher, and it's always like there's more to it. It's not just like one layer. Yes, it's an onion. The answer is an onion. Okay, the onion is the onion. But okay, the RFID chip. Okay, but that's only the skin of the onion. Then you got the other layers of that mark, bro. Of how the enemy has entered into the majority of people already. You see? Hosea 14 verse 9. Who is wise and he shall understand these things. Say, who is wise, and he shall understand these things. Prudent, and he shall know them. You see, prudent. We went to that definition earlier. Prudent, he shall know them. For the ways of Yahweh are right, and the just shall walk in them, but the transgressors shall fall therein. Right, a lot of our people, and just people in general, they've fallen for it. They've fallen for the deceiver's tricks, the devil's tricks. They said, okay, I'll let you in. You know, I need to go to work. I need to go to work, right? And it's really funny because, like, just like a hoe, like, she's easy and she'll just let anyone hit. It's like the same thing with, like, you know, all these devices, you know. They just allow them in so easily. Okay, do whatever you want with my body. I don't care. Because it's either you're a part of the third temple and your body is that temple where the worship of the Lord is being ministered and revealed, or you're not. You see? Many are not. Only a few of us really are the true worshipers of the Lord. That worship him in spirit and in truth, in our mind. And our mind is housed in our body. So our body plays a big role in this too. Proverbs 16:21. The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning. You see? Increase learning. Let's get the definition for learning. You gotta learn. And there's a quote, right? And it says, like, a smart man learns from his mistakes. A smart man. A wise man learns from others' mistakes without even having to make that mistake. Heavy. So, the word learning is teaching power. You see? Instruction. Insight comes from the word insight, which is the capacity to gain an accurate and deep intuitive understanding of a person or a thing, right? Intuition. So everyone's being marked right now, whether by the Lord or by the false Lord, by Baal. You see? Ezekiel 9 and verse 4. And Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, right? And that's what we're doing. We're sighing and crying. A sigh is this, right? And we're crying out. We're, you know, just crying, yes, but also mainly like crying aloud. I'm gonna get that scripture in Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not. You know, cry out. You know, let people know what's right from wrong, and you know what they gotta do for salvation, which we've been doing. So the blood's off our hands. We're innocent. You see. We did what we were supposed to do, which was warn every man his brother, warn everybody, tell everybody, which we have done. So the word for, and not be lords over people, you know, like force them to do something. Everyone's gonna do what they want to do, but just be an example, you know, of Yahweh Shai. That's also in us as we're in him. So the word mark, let's get the word mark here in Ezekiel 9 and 4 is thawa, right? It says a mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. You see, exemption from judgment. It's a sign. It says so let's get the word for exemption. It means you're not going to be a part of it. Exemption is the process of freeing or a state of being free from an obligation or liability imposed on others. Hey, it means immunity. Wow. That's powerful. You see, it's powerful. Matthew 20, matter of fact, let me get this. Ecclesiastes 3 and 5. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. See? So you have to have that watch. You have to be a true watchman and have that watch, knowing what time it is on this earth. Because this earth is governed by time. You see? So you have to know And by you being the spirit midst of times, you're gonna know what the times are in. No one knows when exactly, the date, the hour, the second when Yahushua is coming back. Like, guys are bugging out, but we know like the time frames. You see, Wisdom of Solomon 7:18. Sorry, verse 16. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also, and knowledge of workmanship. For he hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely to know the world what was made, and the operation of the elements, the beginning, ending, and midst of the times, the alterations of the turning of the sun, and the change of seasons, the circuits of years, and the position of stars. And I'm gonna say something too, like, see, like, everyone's looking up, right? But the Lord said they're gonna say low here, low there, but behold, it's in you. So all these things that people are looking at the stars, looking at the sun, the moon, and they're talking about this and that, but it's in us. It's all these things are already inside of us. So we're looking within us. That's what the answer is. Says the natures of living creatures and the furies of wild beasts, the violence of winds and the reasonings of men, the diversities of plants and the virtues of roots, and all such things as are either secret or manifest, them I know. You see, them I know, because we know the Lord and he knows us. So he's put his secrets, his treasures inside of us, and it's something that is hidden. You see, something that's of high value. You don't want to be telling everybody. You see, you'd be quiet. You know. Matthew 27:12. And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. You see, again, Yahushua, our perfect example, he didn't answer them. He didn't answer everybody and everything. Some things he just kept quiet about. It wasn't worth answering, or his breath, because just like in this prophecy here, Ezekiel 3:26, it says, and I will make, I saw verse 25, it says, I saw verse 24, it says, then the Spirit entered into me and set me upon my feet. Right, we stood up, we took a stand, right, and we're still standing. And spake with me and said unto me, go, shut thyself within thine house. See, just like Noah, she shut Noah in. But thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee, and shall bind thee with them, and thou shalt not go out among them. Because we put what we've done, right, is something different than everybody else. We put ourselves under the chain. We put ourselves under the yoke of the Lord, not the world. You see, we're fellow prisoners of Yahushua. We're bound by what? This word. This word has us. You see. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be to them a reprover. You see, not be to them a reprover for their rebellious house. But when I speak with thee, I will open thy mouth, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, he that heareth, let him hear, he that forbeareth, let him forbear, for they are a rebellious house. Right. So let everyone do what they want to do. Once hearing these words and hearing these prophecies and hearing these judgments, let everyone do what they're going to do. Let the righteous be righteous. Let the wicked be wicked. Period. Don't try to save the wicked. Don't try to condemn the righteous. You see, it's a losing battle. You see, the elect have already have the victory. This is Proverbs 9:8. Precept to that, it says, Proverbs 9 and verse 6 says, forsake the foolish, you see, and live. Go in the way of understanding. He that reproveth a scorner getteth himself shame. See, so don't reprove scorners. Yahushua wasn't doing it. We're not doing it. And he that rebuketh the wicked man getteth himself a blot. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Reprove a wise man, and he will love thee. Give instruction to a wise man, he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. You see? So I love that scripture where it says they are ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. So like, guys in this truth, even just people, ordinary people in the world, like they're always learning something, studying something, you know, but they're never able to come to the knowledge of Yahushua. That's too high for them. Wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. The gate to everlasting life. You see, so precept to Ezekiel 9, 9th chapter is how those that don't have the mark are going to be slayed utterly. And the scriptures say don't lift up a cry for them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to get what they rightfully deserve for disobeying the Lord, for rejecting his counsel, and doing as thou wilt. How about that? Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I'll rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, remnant, son, nephew, saith Yahweh. See. So we've been given a high authority, man, and responsibility to not trim away to seek love and have no respect to persons, man, and not lift up a cry for them. Don't pray for these people. You see, this is why the Lord is dealing with the men primarily, because men are logical. Men understand war. Men understand, women are more emotional and just caring, loving. You see, but we have to be more like Yahweh Bashim Yahushai as the heads and leaders of the world, okay? Not doing things for people or for satisfaction, but doing it for satisfying the spirit, the mind. 1 Timothy 5:15. For some are already turned aside after Satan. All praises, glory, honor, and fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Baharakah Kodash. Lord willing, I'll be back in a little bit with another one for that. Lord willing, y'all was fed. All praises, glory, honor, fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Baba Ball. Judgment to all the wicked, and salvation to the election. Stay strong, Shalom.